What if the very things you hide, the qualities that make you feel like you are walking a separate path, are actually compass points leading you to a profound truth about yourself? Timeless wisdom suggests that there exists a way of being so clear, so deeply aware, that only a few ever come to walk this path in their lifetime. Today, we will explore 7 profound currents that, if they flow within you, suggest your journey is of a truly uncommon nature. But consider this insight first. Once you become aware of these currents, the way you see yourself and the river of life may be transformed forever. This understanding does not come from books, but from observing the flow of life itself. There are those whose inner worlds operate with a depth that seems to move beyond the everyday stream of thought. Ancient teachings spent lifetimes mapping these inner patterns, and what they found reveals a truth about human potential. These individuals were not merely different, they were walking a path of deep inner becoming. But here is the challenge: to carry the blueprint of a future self in a world content with the now can feel like a silent pilgrimage. These 7 currents are not simple quirks of character. They are the stretching of the soul as it grows. And if you have felt them, your presence is not just unique, it is a quiet gift to the world. So ask yourself, are you prepared to understand why you have always sensed a different rhythm within you? Because the 7th current may illuminate your entire journey, showing you how your deepest challenges have been shaping you for something truly meaningful. Current 1. The clarity of profound self-awareness. The sages teach that most will travel their whole lives without truly meeting themselves. They exist in a gentle slumber, moving with the current without asking where it flows. But if these words reach you, it is likely you are not among them. Do you find your attention drawn inward, observing the flow of your own thoughts, your intentions, your own heart? Do you find yourself aware of your own awareness? If so, you are carrying what the wise have called the great lamp of self-reflection. You do not just live your life, you are present as a witness to it. You do not just feel an emotion, you observe it rise and fall like a wave, wondering about its source and its message. This may sound like a blessing, but its weight is considerable. An ancient perspective teaches that this clarity, when not balanced, can feel like a room of mirrors. While others can act with simple impulse, you may feel held within an unending hall of self-contemplation. You may weigh every choice, every word, every response. Let me offer a reflection of what this looks like. You are in a conversation, and as the other person speaks from a place of simple being, you find yourself navigating 3 inner rivers at once: the one you are speaking aloud, the one you are observing within your mind, and the one that is offering quiet commentary on it all. This level of inner sight can lead to what is known as the pause of stillness. You become so attentive to the flow of your inner world that natural action feels distant. Every impulse is first bathed in the light of analysis until its original fire softens. Stories are told of masters who entered this inner space, becoming prisoners of their own unending clarity. They knew their inner landscape so well there were no surprises left. They could trace the path of their own reactions until they felt like a river that knew every turn of its own journey. But here is a quiet truth held within this challenge, one that becomes clear when you understand the 4th current. The very self-awareness that feels like a heavy weight is not a fault, it is a tempering of the soul. Ancient wisdom reveals that those who walk this path are silently honing an inner precision, one needed to one day help others see their own light. While many live in the quiet twilight of unawareness, you are drawing a map of consciousness itself. Every difficult moment of self-reflection adds another landmark to your inner world. You are not just seeing yourself, you are coming to understand the very nature of seeing. This weight transforms you into a guide for the inner realms. You journey through this landscape of hyper-awareness so that you might one day help another find their way through their own inner territory, with the grace that only comes from having walked every part of your own. If that first current feels familiar, wait until you sense the presence of the second. This next way of being is so uncommon that a lifetime can be spent contemplating why some souls feel the emotional tides of all humanity. Current 2. Emotional resonance and a sensitive spirit. Ancient teachings speak of a profound truth about certain rare souls. It is said they do not just feel for others, they directly experience the inner weather of those around them. Have you ever entered a space and felt a sudden weight, a sense of quiet sorrow, or a spark of anxiety without any cause of your own? Do you find that you absorb the unspoken feelings of your family, your companions, or even those you pass on the street? The wise called this having a boundless heart, and it is one of the clearest signs of an exceptionally receptive spirit. The teachings say most people have a natural shoreline to their inner ocean, protecting them from the storms of others. But for some, their inner world is a vast sea without shores. You feel the subtle currents of everyone all the time. This is not merely a soft heart, it is a profound openness to the collective river of human feeling. The masters observed that these souls often become vessels for the unspoken sorrows and joys of their communities. Imagine walking through a busy marketplace and suddenly feeling a wash of 100 different emotions that are not your own. One person's worry becomes a ripple in your own stillness. Another's grief becomes a quiet ache in your heart. A stranger's frustration becomes a passing cloud in your own mind. Legends tell of monks who would retreat to quiet mountains, not to escape the world, but because the storm of collective emotion was too overwhelming. They could no longer distinguish the river of their own feelings from the ocean of feeling they were connected to. But here is the part that may offer deep comfort. The masters saw that this was not a weakness or a flaw. It was a rare form of inner work, a service to the harmony of all life. Those with this gift are what was secretly known as heart alchemists. They silently absorb and transform the dissonant energies of the collective. But there is a shadow side to this gift, a weight many find too heavy to carry. The absorption can become so constant that some souls lose the connection to their own quiet center, forever swept up in the tides of others. The sages found that these individuals often become spiritual anchors without knowing it. They are processing the shadow currents of their lineages, their friendships, their communities, quietly doing the heart work that others have not yet learned to do for themselves. Ancient wisdom states that this capacity to absorb and harmonize emotional energy is a profound service. You are not just sensitive, you are a keeper of balance for the silent, emotional life of the world. But here is a secret teaching. This boundless heart only becomes a burden when you do not understand your role as a transformer of energy. Once you learn to consciously feel, release, and return to your own center, you move from being a victim of the storm to being the calm at its center. If you have ever felt like you are a vessel for the unspoken feelings of the world, you will understand the essence of the third current. This next pattern is so profound that the wise believed it was the core reason why certain souls feel they do not fully belong to this human realm. Current 3. The solitude of deep contemplation in a shallow stream. A great sage once said that the deepest pain of human life is not challenge. It is the yearning for deep connection in a world that often stays at the surface. If you possess a rare spirit, you have likely felt this solitude your entire life. You are drawn to conversations about the nature of life, about purpose, about awareness and truth. Meanwhile, the world around you can seem content with fleeting distractions. Ancient wisdom tells us that certain souls possess a depth-seeking nature. Your awareness is like a river that naturally carves deep canyons, drawn to the profound, the mysterious, the uncharted lands of human experience. But herein lies the difficulty. You find yourself in a world that sometimes prefers the shallow, comfortable streams. According to ancient teachings, the collective sometimes resists deep inquiry because it disturbs the quiet slumber that allows for simple daily life. When you invite others to journey into deeper waters, you might be met with hesitant glances, a change of subject, or the observation that you are too serious or think too much. This creates a powerful feeling of spiritual and mental isolation. You feel as though you are tuned to a different music, abiding in a different reality. The masters called this the solitude of the profound spirit. Let me paint a picture for you. You are at a gathering, and while others share stories about daily life, you find yourself pondering the nature of being, the meaning of compassion, or the purpose of your journey here. When you try to share these wanderings, you are met with a gentle quiet or a kind redirection. The sages observed that souls with this depth, seeking nature, often feel like travelers in a foreign land. They are surrounded by people but can feel utterly alone, because few seem to hunger for the deep nourishment that their spirit craves. This is not a form of pride, it is a true spiritual need. Your very being is designed to seek the deep, because it is preparing you for your true purpose. But there is an insight about this path that was held quietly by the masters for a long time. They saw that souls with this nature are not just different, they are essential. They serve as silent way showers for humanity. The deep inner dive that makes you feel alone is actually your spirit exploring the unmapped territories of human potential. You are not overthinking, you are pioneering the path of awareness. The great masters understood that every great shift in human understanding arose from individuals who were willing to see more deeply than their peers. They bore the solitude of their profound thoughts so that humanity could gently awaken to new possibilities. Your need for depth is not a personal preference, it is a calling. The wise knew that depth seekers are silently mapping the inner realms for all. Every deep question you ask, every profound insight you receive, adds to the great library of human wisdom. But here is the challenge. The world may not be ready for the depths you are exploring. You are holding thoughts that may not be fully understood by the collective for a long time to come. This is why you feel a sense of solitude. You are holding the light of the dawn, while most are still in the quiet of the night. If you have ever felt that your depth is too vast for this world, wait until you uncover the fourth current. This next pattern is so focused and so powerful that the masters believed it was the mark of a truth-aligned spirit. Current 4, the unending quest for truth and seeing hidden patterns. Ancient wisdom teaches that certain rare souls are born with a truth-seeking nature, an inability to rest in surface-level understandings. Do you find yourself always asking, why? Long after others have accepted the simple story, do you perceive connections and underlying structures that seem to elude others? Do you feel a quiet pull to understand the deeper harmony behind all things? If you answer yes, you are experiencing one of the most powerful callings a spirit can have. The sages taught that most are comfortable within, agreed upon reality, the shared story that allows life to flow smoothly. But for certain souls, there is a kind of spiritual allergy to incomplete explanations. You cannot help but dig to the root, inquire into the source, and seek the truth that lies behind the appearance of truth. This is more than curiosity. It is a fundamental need to perceive the real way things are. Let me describe how this manifests on your path. While others see something as just the way it is, you feel compelled to understand why it is so, how it began, and what its place is in the great web of life. You see patterns everywhere in human behavior, in the flow of history, in the cycles of nature, in awareness itself. The ancient masters saw that souls with this gift often become consumed with uncovering the unseen. They cannot watch a drama without seeing the deeper human story it tells. They cannot have a simple conversation without sensing the quiet, unspoken currents beneath the words. They cannot observe a system without seeing its imbalances, its contradictions, and its potential for greater harmony. This unending quest for truth creates a unique kind of challenge. You are constantly seeing through the comforting veils that others wrap themselves in. You are aware of disharmonies that others prefer to ignore. You are conscious of inconsistencies that others have learned to accept. But here is the insight from the masters that will change your perspective. This quest for truth is not random. It is your spirit's way of preparing you for a unique journey that only a few are called to. The ancient sages found that truth seekers are silently mapping the hidden architecture of reality for the rest of humanity. You are not just seeking clarity for yourself, you seek it on behalf of everyone who has not yet begun their search. But there is a shadow side to this gift. The wise observe that truth seekers often feel isolated and misunderstood because they see through the convenient stories that hold a community together. They become, as one sage put it, unwilling mirrors for others. When you point out a pattern that others do not see, you are not just sharing an observation, you are inviting them to question their world. When you ask a deeper question, you are not just being inquisitive, you are challenging the very ground they stand on. The teachings say this is why truth seekers often feel like travelers far from home. They are constantly disturbing the quiet illusions that others use to navigate their journey. They are pointing to doors people did not know existed, and many prefer to keep those doors closed. But here is the secret the masters understood. Your unstoppable need for truth is serving a profound function in our collective awakening. You are mapping the territory of reality so that when humanity is ready for the next step on its journey, the paths will have already been made clear. Every pattern you notice, every hidden truth you uncover, every question you ask is adding to our collective storehouse of wisdom. You are not just seeking truth, you are becoming a vessel for it. If you have ever felt that your need to understand is both a gift and a burden, the fifth current will reveal why this weight is actually preparing you for something truly profound. Current 5. The paradox of the full heart and the empty stillness. The ancient masters observed one of the most perplexing qualities of a rare spirit, the capacity to feel a tsunami of emotion in one moment and a great empty stillness in the next. Have you ever known this paradox? Times when you feel everything so profoundly that it is almost too much to bear, followed by seasons where you feel a complete calm, a quiet detachment from all feeling. The sages referred to this as the rhythm of the great heart, and it is one of the surest signs that you have a profoundly uncommon inner nature. According to the ancient teachings, most people experience feeling within a gentle, flowing stream. They know happiness, sadness, anger, but seldom to their absolute extremes. But for souls of a rare nature, it is said they have the heart of the ocean. When you feel with the depth of the entire sea. Joy becomes a state of boundless bliss. Sorrow becomes a deep soul-level ache. Love becomes a cosmic, all-embracing fire. But then, to protect itself from being consumed by this fire, your spirit enters a state of profound calm. It creates a powerful inner rhythm. You feel the fullness, then you feel the stillness. Imagine experiencing a sunset with such intensity that you are brought to tears by its grace, only to find yourself the next day observing the same sunset from a place of perfect, untouchable peace. Imagine feeling such a deep well of love for another that it is a physical sensation, and then suddenly, to feel a vast, quiet space where that feeling once was. The masters taught that this great inner rhythm is not a sign of being unbalanced. It is a sign of an extraordinary capacity of the heart. Your inner system is designed to hold depths of feeling that would shatter a more shallow vessel. But here is the tender irony: the very capacity that allows for profound ecstasy also creates the space for profound sorrow. The same heart that allows you to feel transcendent beauty also allows you to experience unbearable pain. But here is the teaching the masters rarely shared openly. These extremes of the heart are not a disorder, they are a sign of its strength. Your spirit is designed to travel the full expanse of human feeling because you are serving as what they call the heart explorer for all of humanity. The great sages discovered that souls with this nature are silently journeying to the farthest shores of human emotion. You feel what others may not be ready or willing to feel, and in doing so, you expand the map of the heart for everyone. But there is a cost. This great capacity can often make you feel as if you are living in a different emotional world from everyone else. You are either too much or too little, never simply flowing with the quiet stream. According to the ancient wisdom, this paradox serves a vital role in our collective journey. While others live within safe and familiar emotional shores, you are exploring the wild oceans of feeling, the places where bliss meets agony, where love touches surrender, where beauty becomes almost too much to hold. You are not emotionally unstable, you are emotionally courageous. You are willing to feel what others fear to feel, to journey where others fear, to go within their own hearts. The masters realized that every great artist, visionary, and spiritual teacher throughout history showed this same rhythm of the heart. They felt everything so deeply that they often touched the source of everything, which is a great stillness. But from this deep place, they created works that touched the spirit of millions. Your emotional journey is not a weakness. It is the growing pains of a heart that is learning to hold intensities that most cannot even fathom. You are not broken. Your heart is vast. If you have ever felt that your emotions are both your greatest treasure and your heaviest load, wait until you uncover the sixth current. This next pattern is so rare that the sages believed it was the sign of an awakening soul. Current 6, a state of chronic, sacred restlessness. A wise master once said that most people are content merely to be. But for a rare soul, you are called to something more demanding, the journey to truly become. Do you feel a persistent inner stirring, as if you are here for something more, though you cannot quite name it? Do you feel you are not living your true life, even when your outer life is full? Do you have an unshakable sense that there is a quiet, sacred task you are meant to be doing? The masters called this divine urgency, and it is one of the most powerful and transformative callings a person can feel. According to the teachings, most people find a sense of peace in the common markers of a life path, a vocation, loving connections, a place to call home. But for souls of a rare nature, they possess a purpose-seeking spirit. You cannot find true rest in a life that is merely safe and comfortable. You need meaning, connection to something greater, a sense of deep purpose. You need to feel that your very existence is a note in a larger, sacred song. This is not ambition, it is a spiritual hunger that can never be filled with simple achievements. But here is the gentle irony. The more you seek this meaning, the more it can feel just out of reach. Picture this: you build a life with everything that is said to bring contentment. Good work, a peaceful home, strong bonds. But you still feel a quiet ache inside. You feel as if you are playing a part in a story written by another, while your own soul's story remains untold. The masters observed that this inner stirring often deepens with time. While others may settle into the quiet rhythms of life, you can become increasingly moved by the feeling that time is a precious gift and you have not yet found your true work. But here is the insight from the wise ones that changes everything. This restlessness is not a sign that your life is wrong. It is a sign that your spirit is truly alive. Your soul is gently rejecting a life that is too small for it. The ancient teachings say that this inner stirring is not a personal failure, it is a sacred call. Your spirit is pushing you towards your true nature, the journey of becoming the person you were always meant to be. But here is the secret teaching. This restlessness only finds peace when you accept your role as what was called a catalyst for awakening in others. Your purpose is not to find your own peace and then rest. It is to gently disturb the comfortable slumber of others in a way that helps them remember their own inner light. According to the sages, certain souls are born with a sacred dissatisfaction. You cannot be content with the current state of awareness because your very nature is to help it grow and expand. Every moment of restlessness you feel is your soul's quiet whisper. There is more. Every feeling of emptiness is your spirit's way of saying, you are meant for something greater. Every surge of this divine urgency is your consciousness preparing you for a journey that only you can take. The spiritual restlessness that has been your constant companion is actually your soul's way of preparing you for a life of deep purpose. You are not meant to be comfortable. You are meant to be a force of loving transformation. The great sages and leaders throughout history were all moved by this same inner fire. They could not rest until they had offered their unique gift to the great unfolding of human consciousness. If you have seen yourself in these first 6 currents, you are about to discover the most profound truth the ancient masters ever shared about such rare souls. The 7th current will illuminate why you have always felt like a traveler far from your true home. Current 7, the weight of holding the light for a future dawn. The masters' greatest understanding was also their most protected teaching. They saw that certain rare individuals are born carrying the seed of future consciousness, the sacred task of being aware of humanity's next step on its journey of awakening. This is the ultimate path of a rare spirit. And if you have felt this within you, you now understand why you have always felt a certain separation from the world around you. Do you feel as if you are remembering a way of being from a time yet to come? Do you see potentials for human harmony that others cannot yet envision? Do you feel you are carrying a silent message for humanity, one that most are not yet ready to hear? According to the ancient teachings, you are not imagining this. You are experiencing what they called dawn consciousness, an awareness of spiritual potentials that have not yet fully bloomed in the collective human heart. The masters understood that awakening does not happen all at once. Instead, certain individuals are born with a spirit that is already attuned to a more evolved state of being. These souls become what were called consciousness stewards, living examples of what humanity can become. But here is the great weight. You are aware of possibilities that the world is not yet ready to fully embrace. You see pathways to healing for wounds that others do not yet acknowledge. You feel the pull of a future harmony while still living in the present. This is why you have always felt like a sojourner here. You are not simply different. Your spirit is anchored in a time yet to be. You are living with the consciousness of a future dawn in a world that is still in the twilight. The sages believe that souls who carry this weight are like humanity's sacred memory of the future. When the collective heart is ready to awaken, these stewards will be there to guide the way with compassion and wisdom. But until that time comes, you carry the weight of a potential not yet born. You feel a quiet responsibility for change that the world is not yet asking for. You see the clear path forward, but you cannot walk it for anyone else. The ancient chronicles are filled with stories of souls who felt called to prepare humanity for its next great leap of the heart. They had visions of a world living in harmony that seemed like a forgotten dream. They understood principles of compassion and connection that would not become common knowledge for many generations. This burden of awareness creates a unique kind of inner pain. You are aware of humanity's immense potential for love and wisdom, but you are also profoundly aware of its current limitations. You see what we could become, but you must live with compassion amongst what we currently are. According to the wisest of teachings, this is the most profound weight a human spirit can carry: the awareness of our divine potential, combined with the inability to make it bloom for everyone all at once. But here is the insight that changes everything. Your advanced awareness is not just unique, it is essential. You are not carrying this weight for yourself. You are holding a sacred space for humanity's future. Every moment of feeling like a traveler in a strange land, every vision of human potential, every quiet knowing about our collective awakening is preparing you for a role that only a soul like yours can fulfill. You are not just witnessing the future, you are helping to anchor its light in the present moment. The great masters realized that the awakening of consciousness requires pioneers who are willing to live in the sacred tension between what is and what could be. You are not suffering from this awareness, you are in service to it. If you have felt the flow of these 7 currents within you, you now understand why the wise ones of old spent their lives studying souls like yours. You are not broken, you are not strange, you are not too sensitive, you are awake. According to the timeless wisdom, individuals with such a spirit serve as the quiet vanguard for humanity. While others live with ease in the present moment, you are tasked with tending to the seeds of the future. Your struggles are not punishments, they have been your spiritual training. Every challenge you have met has been developing an inner capacity that others do not yet possess. You have been in training without even knowing it, for a purpose that only you can fulfill. The great masters discovered that rare souls are the gentle agents of our collective awakening. You are not meant to blend in. You are meant to be a quiet light. You are not supposed to seek comfort above all else. You are supposed to be a source of loving change. Your profound self-awareness. It is developing the inner clarity needed to guide others toward their own light. Your emotional resonance. It is training your heart to hold the deep compassion needed for transformation. Your deep thinking. It is preparing you to see paths to harmony that others cannot yet imagine. A wise teacher once said the greatest loss would be if rare souls tried to become like everyone else. The world does not need more streams flowing in the same well-worn channel. It needs more individuals who are willing to hold the light for our collective awakening. Your path has been preparing you for something truly profound. The question is not whether you are different. It is whether you are ready to embrace the quiet honor that comes with being an awakened soul. A great master once said, "The greatest journey of a lifetime is to become who you are." If you recognize yourself in these 7 currents, you now know what this truly means. You are not just rare, you are needed. The world needs your light exactly as it is. Your challenges have been your teachings. Your differences have been your training. Your perceived burdens have been your greatest gifts. Do not try to be like everyone else. The world has enough people moving in the same direction. Be awake. Be a source of light. Be who you are. Which of these 7 currents resonates most deeply with your own journey? Feel free to subscribe to this channel and share your own reflections in the space below. Let us build a community of souls who understand both the weight and the gift of this path of awakening.